Welcome back to the Chan Healing in Old Eagle. Today, we're diving into a topic that shows up on almost everyone's plate: meat. But before you fire up that grill or prep your sandwich, I've got a question for you. Is the meat you're eating helping you age better, or is it quietly wearing you down? If you're over 60 or care about someone who is, this episode might just shift how you think about what's on your dinner plate. Because here's the truth, not all meats are created equal. Some may feel hearty and familiar, but behind the flavor, they could be fueling inflammation, joint pain, or even memory decline. Others, surprisingly, might actually support your body's strength, your heart, and even your brain as you age. To help us sort through the confusion, we're honored to be joined by someone truly remarkable. Drive. Shigaki Hinohara, Japan's oldest practicing physician. Yes, he's over 100 years old, still walks every day, and still shares his wisdom about living well, eating smart, and aging with purpose. Now, to be clear, this isn't about fear-mongering. It's not about cutting out all meat or chasing the latest diet fad. It's about making informed, intentional choices, especially after 60, when your body starts reacting more strongly to what you put in it. The same slice of bacon or chicken breast you loved at 30 might be affecting your heart or your joints differently today. So in this episode, we'll walk you through 4 types of meat you should seriously reconsider, and 4 others that can actually help you live longer and stronger. We'll explain the science, share real-life examples, and maybe even challenge a few food habits you've had for decades. Ready to find out which meats could be aging you, and which ones might be keeping you young? Let's get into it. Let's kick things off with one of the most beloved, and surprisingly harmful, meats out there: processed bacon. I get it. Bacon is a comfort food. It's tied to memories of weekend breakfasts, Sunday brunches, maybe even your grandma's kitchen. The smell, the crunch, the flavor, it feels like a reward. But here's the hard truth. After the age of 60, that little indulgence might be doing a lot more harm than you think. Processed bacon is loaded with nitrates, sodium, and preservatives, and it's often cooked at high heat until crispy. Sounds delicious, right? But inside your body, it's a recipe for trouble. According to a large study published in the journal Circulation, eating just 50 grams of processed meat per day, that's about 2 strips of bacon, can increase your risk of heart disease by 42%. Let that sink in. 2 strips, 42%. Why? Because after 60, your body becomes more sensitive. Your arteries aren't as flexible. Your blood pressure rises more easily. And your digestive system doesn't bounce back like it used to. And bacon hits all those weak spots at once. It feeds inflammation, raises blood pressure, and loads your system with chemicals your body now struggles to detox. Now, I'm not saying you can never enjoy bacon again. Life's about balance, not deprivation. But if bacon's become part of your regular breakfast routine, daily or even weekly, it might be time to rethink it. Especially the kind that comes pre-packaged from the supermarket. Let me ask you, is 2 minutes of crispy satisfaction worth years of joint pain, memory fog, or heart risk? That's the trade-off we rarely talk about. Stick with me, because next, we're diving into another, healthy-looking, meat that could be quietly damaging your kidneys and blood pressure. Alright, let's talk about a type of meat that looks healthy, feels convenient, but can quietly chip away at your health after 60. I'm talking about deli meats, turkey slices, ham, roast beef, salami, you name it. I can't tell you how many people I know who grab a quick turkey sandwich and think, I'm eating lean, I'm being smart. But here's the thing, just because it looks clean doesn't mean it's kind to your body, especially as you age. Most deli meats are pre-cooked, cured, and packaged for shelf life. But behind the convenience, you've got sodium, nitrates, and chemical preservatives packed into every bite. These additives aren't just a problem for taste, they're a problem for your kidneys, your blood pressure, and your gut. In fact, a major study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that eating processed deli meats just 4 times a week can raise your risk of chronic kidney disease by 28%. That's not a small number, and it's especially concerning if your kidney function is already declining with age, which it naturally does for many people over 60. And here's something we don't talk about enough: Food safety. Deli meats are often eaten cold, straight from the package. For younger people, maybe that's fine, but after 60, your immune system isn't as quick to fight off bacteria. Even a mild case of foodborne illness can hit hard. I had a patient once, retired pilot, 72, healthy lifestyle, ate a turkey sandwich for lunch every day. No one linked his creeping blood pressure or kidney numbers to that sandwich, until we did. So, next time you're reaching for that deli pack, ask yourself, is this really fueling your health, or just feeding a habit? Coming up next, we'll uncover a type of red meat that seems harmless, but is often full of silent inflammation triggers. Now let's move on to a meat that catches a lot of people off guard, because on the surface, it looks like a clean, solid choice. Conventional beef. I'm talking about the kind of beef you find in most grocery stores and restaurants, burgers, steaks, ground beef. It's everywhere, and for a lot of folks trying to eat high protein after 60, it feels like the obvious go-to. But here's the deal, not all beef is created equal. The problem isn't necessarily beef itself, it's how the cow was raised. Most of the conventional beef in the US comes from cows fed a grain-heavy diet, loaded with corn and soy. That diet alters the fat composition of the meat, making it much higher in omega-6 fatty acids, which fuel inflammation. On top of that, these cows are often treated with antibiotics and hormones to speed up growth and prevent disease in crowded feedlots. That means your steak may come with chemical residues that can disrupt your hormones, overwork your liver, and mess with your gut bacteria, three systems that are already more fragile after 60. A 20-year study published in the BMJ found that people who regularly consumed conventionally raised red meat had a significantly higher risk of heart disease, while those who chose pasture-raised lean beef in moderation didn't show the same risks. And here's the kicker, most people don't question it. They say, I'm buying lean ground beef. I'm cooking at home, I'm doing it right. But if you've never thought about what that cow ate or how it was raised, you might be getting more than just protein. So if you're aiming for longevity, it's time to think beyond the label and ask, what's the story behind my meat? Up next, we're tackling a protein that's long been considered safe, but might actually be one of the sneakiest threats on your plate. Now here's one that might really surprise you, because it has such a healthy image in our minds. I'm talking about chicken, specifically, factory-farmed chicken. For decades, chicken has been marketed as the safe meat, low in fat, high in protein, easy to cook, and for many folks over 60, it's become a staple. Grilled chicken breast for lunch, chicken stir-fry for dinner. Sounds clean, right? But here's the catch, not all chicken is created equal. The chicken you're grabbing at the supermarket or from your favorite fast food spot? Chances are, it's been raised in overcrowded conditions, pumped with antibiotics, and even treated with growth hormones, all to fatten it up faster and cut costs. What does that mean for your body? Well, for starters, that kind of chicken often contains residues from antibiotics and synthetic hormones, and those can seriously throw off your hormone balance, especially as you age. It can also mess with your gut bacteria, increase low-grade inflammation, and affect your insulin sensitivity, all of which become more critical after 60. And here's something most people don't realize. Factory-farmed chicken has a high omega-6 fatty acid content. While omega-6 isn't inherently bad, too much of it, especially without enough omega-3 to balance, can fuel chronic inflammation. I know what you're thinking, it's chicken. Isn't that the healthy option? It can be, but only if it's raised right. Otherwise, it may be quietly working against your health goals, even if you're grilling it, not frying it. So if chicken's on your plate 5 nights a week, take a closer look at where it's coming from, because sometimes, the light option carries a heavy cost. Stick around. Up next, we'll flip the script and dive into the top meats you should be eating after 60. Now that we've talked about the meats to limit, let's flip the focus. Let's talk about what you should be eating, especially if you're over 60 and want to keep your heart strong, your memory sharp, and your joints moving freely. And topping that list? Wild-caught salmon. Not farmed, we're talking about wild salmon, caught in natural waters. This fish is a nutrient powerhouse. And honestly, it's one of the few foods I'd call medicine in disguise. Wild salmon is loaded with omega-3 fatty acids, which are known for their anti-inflammatory superpowers. After 60, inflammation becomes a quiet enemy, impacting your heart, your brain, even your mobility. But omega-3s? They're like firefighters, calming the flames inside your body. And get this, a 2021 study published in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology found that older adults who ate wild salmon or other fatty fish at least twice a week had a 27% lower risk of cardiovascular events. That's strokes, heart attacks, real-life outcomes, not just theory. Plus, wild-caught salmon doesn't come with the baggage of land-based meats. No hormones, no antibiotics, no overcrowded feedlots, just clean, protein-rich fuel that supports your body, not stresses it. What I love most, it's so versatile. Grill it, bake it, poach it, flake it into a salad. You don't need to be a chef. And just a few servings a week can make a real difference in how you feel. So if you're looking for a meat that supports longevity, not inflammation, wild-caught salmon should absolutely be on your grocery list. Stick around, because next we'll talk about a red meat most people overlook, but it might just be the cleanest. Most muscle-supporting meat you're not eating. Next up on the "eat more of this" list is a meat you probably don't hear much about, but trust me, it's one of the most underrated superfoods for aging well. We're talking about pasture-raised lamb. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Lamb? Isn't that fancy? Or heavy? Actually, no. When it's raised on open pasture, lamb is one of the cleanest, most nutrient-dense red meats you can eat, and it's especially powerful if you're over 60. Let's break it down. Pasture-raised lamb is rich in iron and zinc, which are essential for immune strength and energy, two things that naturally decline with age. It also packs in high-quality protein, which becomes absolutely critical for maintaining muscle mass as we get older. You've probably heard the term sarcopenia, the age-related loss of muscle. It's not just about looking fit, it's about balance, strength, and independence, and lamb can help counter that, especially when it's raised right. Here's what makes it even better, compared to factory-farmed meats. Pasture-raised lamb has a much better fat profile. It contains higher levels of omega-3s and CLA, conjugated linoleic acid, a natural fat that's been linked to reduced inflammation and cancer protection. I had a client once, early 60s, former runner, starting to notice muscle weakness. We made a few small tweaks to his diet, including adding lamb once or twice a week. Not long after, his energy, recovery time, and even sleep improved. Sometimes the answer isn't in cutting things out, it's in choosing better quality. So if lamb isn't already on your radar, now's the time. Just make sure it says pasture-raised, not grain-fed or factory-farmed. Next, we'll circle back to a meat you already know, but reveal how the right version of it can completely change how your body responds. Alright, now let's talk about a meat that many of us are already eating, but not always in its best form: chicken. Now, chicken has built a reputation as the healthy meat, right? It's lean, it's familiar, it's easy to cook, but here's the twist: how that chicken was raised makes all the difference. And if you're over 60, that difference could directly impact your inflammation, your metabolism, and your energy. So here's the better choice: organic, pasture-raised chicken. What does that mean? It means the chickens are raised outdoors, with space to move, forage, and grow without being pumped full of antibiotics or hormones. And that alone makes it a much cleaner protein source for your body. In fact, a 2019 Japanese clinical study found that seniors who regularly ate pasture-raised chicken had lower markers of inflammation and better insulin sensitivity compared to those eating conventional poultry. That's huge, especially if you're managing blood sugar or trying to reduce chronic inflammation, which becomes more common with age. But, and this is important, not all chicken labeled natural or cage-free meets the mark. Those terms can be misleading. When you're at the store, look specifically for labels like organic, pasture-raised, or certified humane. They're your best indicators of a chicken that's been raised responsibly, and one that your body will thank you for. I've had clients make just this one change, switching to better quality chicken, and they've reported clearer skin, better digestion, and even fewer aches. So yes, Chicken can still be a staple in your diet. Just make sure it's the right kind, raised the right way. Up next, we're diving into one of the smallest meats on the list, but it packs a nutritional punch far bigger than you'd expect. Alright, last on our list, and definitely not least, is a group of humble, underrated nutritional all-stars, small oily fish like sardines, anchovies, and mackerel. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Wait, sardines? Aren't those just salty little fish in cans? But here's the thing, these small fish pack a huge punch when it comes to supporting your health after 60. Let's start with what you're really getting. These fish are typically eaten whole, including the bones, the skin, even the organs, which means you're not just getting protein, you're getting a natural dose of calcium, collagen, and omega-3s, all in one bite. And when it comes to aging well, omega-3 fatty acids are your best friends. They help protect your heart, support memory, reduce joint inflammation, and even boost your mood. Plus, since these fish are small and low on the food chain, they carry far less mercury than larger fish like tuna. That makes them safe to eat often, which is rare when we're talking about seafood. In fact, a 2020 study published in the journal Nutrients found that adults over 65 who ate small oily fish at least 3 times a week had a 34% lower risk of cognitive decline. That's a big deal, and it's the kind of simple dietary habit that could change the trajectory of your aging. So if sardines or mackerel haven't been on your radar, now's a great time to experiment. Try them grilled, mixed into pasta, or even mashed with avocado on toast. They're light, nutrient-dense, and surprisingly satisfying. You don't need trendy superfoods to age well, sometimes. It's the simplest traditions that hold the most power. So here's the big takeaway. If you're over 60, or even just starting to think about how to age with strength, clarity, and intention, then it's time to rethink your relationship with meat. Because it's not about eating less meat, and it's definitely not about cutting out all the foods you love. The real game changer? Quality over quantity. It's easy to focus on calories, fat percentages, or buzzwords on packaging, but at this stage in life, those numbers aren't the full story. What matters more is where your meat comes from, how the animal was raised, and how it's prepared. Is it supporting your body, or slowly working against it? We've seen how certain meats, like processed bacon or factory-farmed chicken, can fuel inflammation, strain your organs, and quietly chip away at your health. But we've also uncovered how wild-caught salmon, pasture-raised lamb, and even humble sardines can nourish your heart, brain, and muscles with every bite. And I want to leave you with one of the wisest pieces of advice from Dr. Shigaki Hinohara, Japan's legendary physician. Still walking daily at over 100 years old, he said, "Eat with intention. After 60, every bite is either building your health, or quietly breaking it down." Let that sink in. Your plate isn't just food. It's your energy, your memory, your mobility, your future. And every meal is a new opportunity to make it count. If you found value in this video, give it a thumbs up. Share it with someone you care about. And don't forget to subscribe for more Age Smart, science-backed insights. Until next time, eat well, live strong, and take care of that incredible body of yours. Before you go, I've got a special health gift I'd love to share with you. On this channel, I share simple, effective health tips, all based on real scientific research and practical, everyday experience. And if you'd like to receive a free gift, it's super easy. Hit the subscribe button, comment below, claim my gift. I'll send it straight to you. Don't miss out, because your journey to better health starts with small choices just like this one.